Good morning. Good morning. What a miserable day. I suppose we shouldn't complain, should we? Because it has been weeks of glorious weather. And here we are at the end of September already. I'm Karen Curtin, back live with you. As those of you who join me regularly know that I decided not to go live last Monday. It just didn't feel appropriate. And I'm here really just every Monday sharing tips, ideas, inspiration for you around your social media activities. And why would you be interested in hearing what I have to say if you haven't joined me before? Well, I come from a corporate background. I did over 20 years in the corporate world, so I understand how that world operates. But also, I set up and ran my business full time now for coming up to 12 years with no funding, no support, totally nothing really, and have gradually grown the business. And I thought I'd call today's live. This time next year, Rodney will be Millionaires for a bit of fun, a bit of Monday fun, because it is that, isn't it? And this is something that came to me. Actually, I was at a networking event on Thursday, and we were talking about the fact that we all have these fantastic ideas and inspiration for what we're going to do for our business to make sure that we are going to best. Sorry, I just paused there because I thought I could hear the rain throwing it down. That we can be the best that we can be in our businesses, that we can retire to a fabulous Caribbean island. And I remember when I originally set up my online program, which is a program that covers my 4 principles to being successful on social media. So whether you work with me one-to-one or you join my online program, I'm very passionate about these 4 principles, because if you can master them, and that's a big one, you can master them, you will get results. And your 4 principles are having a plan, creating engaging content, building your audience, and having a conversion plan. So 4.5 years ago, I launched my online program, and my husband and I chatted about it and said, this time next year, Rodney, we're going to be millionaires. And you know what it is there are a lot of people out there running businesses who are of the mindset, let's work on volume. And I realized after 6 months that, excuse me, that for me, that didn't feed my soul. And it's got to be what's right for you. So my online program is much smaller so it's not going to get me a Caribbean island. But what it means is that I get to know my learners. I understand the members of my online program and the challenges that they have within their business. Because if you're going to make results, get somebody results, understand what makes them tick, you have to get under the skin of their business. There isn't a one size fits all. And actually today I've got a live learning session with them. So it may be an online program, and I'm going to be teaching them the principle of batching content, because it's when we all sign up for these online programs, I don't know about you guys, but quite often you'll sign up with them every intention. And I see this with some of my learners, which is why I've changed my program. So there's still 14 hours of online learning, but every month we do an hour of lunch and learn. Sometimes we do more. And that's really important, because if you're going to be a millionaire, if you're going to make a lot of money from your business, you need to have that clarity and focus about what you want to accomplish. And I worked with a couple of new clients last week, and I'm really grateful that they chose to work with me. And I think what came back to me is that some of these businesses have really big marketing budgets, but actually they don't have a plan in place. They're chucking content out there, but it's sales content. And if you're going to get results from your social media, you need to be building relationships. You need to be building know, like, and trust. So, for example, just after I finish here, I'm heading off to the Circle Club Forum, just up near the airport, actually not very far from me, which is why I was able to jump on and do this live. And I won't walk up to somebody at that event, give them my business card and say, do you want to do some social media training with me? No way. I'm building relationships unless they specifically say, oh, I was hoping you'd be here, Karen. I'd really like to chat to you. That's an entirely different conversation, isn't it? So we need to build know, like, and trust through our interesting, engaging content. We then need to spend some time building your audiences. So one of the clients I was working with last week had only about 200 connections on LinkedIn. Another business I worked with had a Facebook page, had very low follower and like rate. And I said, we need to build the audience. We need to get a bigger audience to talk to sell to. You wouldn't, if you were a singer, if you were in a band, you wouldn't go straight out and try and sell tickets at the O2. That's an analogy I've not thought of before. Coffee must be kicking in. And I didn't, and it's true, because you wouldn't try and do that. You would do some smaller gigs, wouldn't you? And that's the key thing, is you need to build your audience. You need to build relationships with people who may be interested in working with you at some point. And the big if here, everybody, is if this time next year we're going to be millionaires, we need to be true to ourselves. We need to be honest. We need to be trusted. And if you have a service-related business, this is really important. If you have a service-related business, it's absolutely essential that you set your expectations, because you don't need my support every day, week, or month. You don't need me. If you're an accountant, or if you're a lawyer, or if you're in financial services, you don't need services every day, week, or month. And that's where my favorite word comes in, which is consistency, because consistency in your marketing is essential. Unless you are consistently showing up regularly for your business and being present, being there. It's like I pretty much show up here every single Monday, unless, unfortunately, our queen has passed away, and it just doesn't feel right, does it? So you need to be showing up regularly, being that go-to person, and hanging out in the right place. I've got a client at the minute that I'm really not convinced that they're on the right platform, but they are obsessed with being on that platform. Now, they're the boss. But take a long, hard look at your business. Do you need to be hanging out on every platform? Do you need to be every man, every woman, every person? You're better off hanging out on the platforms where the majority of your perfect clients hang out. Because if this time next year, Rodney, you're going to be a millionaire, you need to get these basics right. So feel free to drop me a message if you're on catch up, and I will see you all next Monday. Have a great week and take care. Bye-bye.